Salve, salve, pessoal. Como vocês estão?
Hey, up here, Piggo.
Vou ver se tá tudo conectado certinho, acho que tá. Assim, tudo certinho.
Yeah,
Bora
you
lá.
better keep walking.
O que a gente ia fazer agora mesmo? Vamos ver nas nossas anotações. A gente tinha que falar com o cara da recepção, não era? Vamos lá falar com o cara da recepção. O bêbado aqui embaixo, que eu acho que eu não falei com ele, né? Ah, essa sacola. Com essa sacola eu acho que dá pra coletar. Com a sacola em mãos eu posso coletar coisas do lixo. Tem esse efeito não? E eu posso vender coisas do lixo. Eu já falei com essa rapaziada aqui.
Son, you've really let yourself go. It's a disgrace. But Coach Physical Instrument is going to get you back in prime condition, even if it takes 1,000,000 push-ups.
Ensinar-me molde como aço.
It's going to take blood, sweat, piss, and tears. But when I'm done with you, boy, you will be a master athlete. Behold, world. Here walks a sportsman, hands choked and hair kept back.
O que eu ganhei foi um aprimoramento físico. Um aprimoramento físico. Mano, deixa eu falar com os caras porque tem coisa pra internalizar aqui que eu não posso porque eu não tenho espaço. Eu nem sei o motivo de eu não ter espaço. Quem será que compra isso?
Can I help you? Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for. How strange. I certainly didn't put them there.
Claro que ele não colocou, né?
Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene.
Quem mais tem as
The trash
chaves?
collection service, CS Municipal. I don't see why.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be
On Clinton Street, near the Boogie Street Diamond, a small truck rattles down an alleyway. It stops by a rusted trash container. Two men, their faces rough and swollen.
Thank you anyway.
Deixa eu ver. Será que alguém dessa equipe colocou lá? Talvez não se lembre de ter colocado elas lá. Talvez você estivesse sonâmbulo ou em estado de fuga.
I think fugue states are more your forte, officer. Yes.
Eu vi algo aqui. Deixa eu ver.
What thing? Yes, not the whole damn union, thank God. Just the nastiest and... They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit. But they're good customers. They place big orders and always pay on...
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info. We
Como nos
don't.
encontramos?
We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even men on strike. Good question.
They're probably getting drunk or protesting something somewhere. Or laying low after they probably fucking killed that guy or something, and that's why.
I have a feeling we'll make their acquaintance sooner or later.
What?
You feel like you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
Fácil sucesso.
Absolutely out.
Absolutely in the question. First we find a sack. Your body is ready, sire.
Deixa eu ver.
Yes, have you got it? For the room, 60 real. Like what? I was really enjoying talking about the money you owe me. Another thing, great. I love those. Yes?
Chega. Quer saber onde eu vendo essas coisas? Como é que eu vou ter 60 conto, mano?
The door is closed. There is no answer. Still no answer. This door can only be opened with a key. As you hold the metal, you sense the warmth left there by her. Still nothing. The lieutenant gives you... You should punch a fucking hole in it. The murmur in your ears recedes slowly. Your breathing normalizes. That's one lucky door.
Ela não me atende. Descubra quem está no anexo do sindicato. Okay.
You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray, light it up, and smoke the living shit out of it. Who knows what you are? A monster, a murderer, the gnome of Jeroma? You feel like a
Mas ela
smoker.
quebrou no frito, não
It's
consigo
how
mais.
very astute of you. This renders it ineffectual. You should look for a whole cigarette, or better yet, an entire pack. Strike that. A carton. Make sure they're all healthy and able-bodied.
Eu não
Good.
deveria fazer isso.
They'll make you stronger and better. You're too old to be cool now. But find cigarettes, smoke them, blam.
Que bom, o cara, além de
Instantly
ser
a cool
um
renegade man.
alcoólatra, é fumante.
Plus,
Legal.
smoking them gives massive
Encontre alguns
bonuses.
cigarros. Que legal. Encontre alguns cigarros para fumar. Ok. Tem mais alguma coisa aqui que dá pra mexer? Tinha uma saída aqui. Olha o meu outro sapato. Agora eu tenho 2 sapatos.
There they both are. 2 identical shoes. Both copiously green like 2 baby crocodiles. It's pretty clear a normal cop is not what you are.
Isso é verdade.
You may be what they call a big dick cop. Good. They're balanced. Comfy. Feels like the only good thing about you right now.
Uma rajada de vento salgado passa por você. Ok. Tem mais alguma coisa pra olhar aqui? Ih, não, o que é isso? Ah. Cara, deixa eu tentar entrar aqui de novo.
Kim also tries not to look at the pile of taped viscera on the carpet, or the weird suitcase on the hat rack, or the potted plant dying in the corner.
É
But
aqui
it's
que a
all
mágica
just
acontece.
too more.
And by that you mean crimes against humanity?
Uma expressão de mim, meu eu
I have
individualismo.
no idea what that means.
Será que eu consigo
This
pegar
fan
essa
has
porcaria?
2 chain pull switches.
Não consigo. Porqueira.
The bed is cold and not particularly inviting.
The option to go to sleep becomes available every night after 9 p.m.
Tá. Mas eu não vou poder dormir aqui.
A
Ou vou?
mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
Alicate? Calma aí.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. The chain cutters slip out of your hands as you attempt to twist the faucet into place. Well, you know one thing for sure. You've probably never been.
Tentei, né? E essa outra porta aqui?
The door is closed. This door can only be opened with as you hold the metal, you sense the warmth left there by her hand. Still nothing. The lieutenant gives you a you should punch a fucking hole in it. The murmur in your
Pera aí. Então se eu vim nessa... E essa aqui? Nada. Que droga. Coloca esse brother aqui.
A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood. As you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a complete... Okay, it's definitely not his name. Whatever you do, please don't call him Goranci Quebec. Please. It's not funny.
Olá, tem tempo para algumas
The
perguntas?
man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air. He smiles and bangs his ladle. It's almost like music, especially with the sounds of assorted dishes.
Pô, para não tinha... Oxi. Legal.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The stainless steel door is flat. It leads to a side building, adjacent to this one. The door does not budge.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads?
Tô atraído pelo azul, cobalto.
Eccentric. But okay, I suppose we could look in.
It's hardly a side investigation. You already have a name for it.
Gart is the person to ask about this. The cafeteria manager.
Eu tentei
The door
empurrar.
does not budge.
Tá. Lore e as passagens secretas. Existem portas estranhas. Ninguém sabe para onde elas conduzem. Encontrar um caminho para a passagem secreta, tá? Tem um mano aqui que ele não tava aqui antes. Deixa eu falar com ele. Tá? É tudo uma questão de dinheiro. Vamos lá em cima de novo. Opa, tem um... Pera aí. Quanto será que pagam por essas coisas? É, mais coisa aqui pra baixo que eu não vi? Tinha mais mesmo. Eu não vim aqui. Vim, pô. Vem, pô, falei com esse cara aqui.
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. This panel usually closes the water lock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But then there it is, a brave little army in your pocket. The 1st Smokes platoon, 20 brave souls standing in salute, ready to step into fire for you, sir. You picked the best one. This soldier is fat and succulent. What are you waiting for? Light. Already you regret it, looking at the pack. But don't worry. You can come back to this later.
You've passed up your chance to start smoking cigarettes for now, but don't worry. The option to start...
Eu tenho 4 cigarros, mano. Aí eu vou ter que... Aí ele vai querer ficar fumando. Eu tenho certeza que vai ser uma fita assim. Vai ficar tirando minha saúde. É, para. Esse bagulho que tá no chão. O bom é o colega dele aqui, né? Que tá acompanhando ele o tempo todo, tá vendo eu pegando coisa do lixo. E dá o prazer de ajudar, né, querido? Licença.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Não.
Another time.
Mas isso, tipo assim, se eu for vender...
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Sure, let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Não, pra que serve essa merda, então?
Another time.
Vou lá conversar com um colega aqui, porque...
The unpromising race pupil returns. And look, babe. The minion of law is also a racist. But his racism is basic and raw.
So unadvanced.
The basic race education he received in high school has led him to think his phylum are the sole authors of race theory. An esoteric study basic racist. I take pity on you. You clearly want to enter the harbor bad. Like a little boy who wants to go on the potty. Very well. You may enter the door once. Our race conversation here has...
Finally. Let's go.
Eita, tem coisa aqui pra fazer. Abaixo no plano fez o logotipo do sindicato.
An imposing combination of a punch clock and a
Relógio de
payphone is
ponto.
looking down at you from the
Telefone.
wall. A note on the side says, tokens unavailable due to strike.
Não, não quero mexer nisso aqui não. Ih, a gente sai pelo outro lado, calma aí. Sabia que era uma saída, pô. Pô, eu nem olhei tudo. Pegar tudo que dá pra pegar aqui de dentro.
On second glance, someone has forgotten to
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions and the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. Couron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts. It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry.
Force a si mesmo a olhar as pastas.
Whatever's hidden
Deu
here
certo.
is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it.
Vamos olhar a
It appears
anotação.
to be a to-do list written in large, Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everart's plants. Sweep all items on the list have been crossed out, and the note itself is
Everard Clare, probably. The head of the Debarders Union. One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating.
The special borscht seems a bit odd in the list.
Borscht especial.
What
Nem
is
sei que
so
porra é essa.
special about this borscht? Code for drugs, booze, blood. Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes, special whirling all items on the drawer slides shut.
Tá, vamos lá ver. Coisa pra subir de nível aqui. Vamos botar um no físico aqui.
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friesel. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread
Que galhadas.
because white antlers are one of the symbols of communism. They represent a society in accord with the natural world and at the same time above it. Because
Que Friesel.
Friesel was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards. To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just after rifling the pages with your thumb, the magazine is divided into several sections. International developments, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns.
Vamos ver a nota do
Just
editor.
comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, du cristal à la fumée. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée. Unlike many publications, only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they've already alien. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Verificar a parte de desenvolvimento.
This section
nacionais.
includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border.
Oi?
Something about bear wrestling in Samara. Book riots in Yugograd. Face it, you really aren't interested in foreign affairs. You're not even sure where most
bom,
of these
obrigado.
countries are.
Deixa na geladeira.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds. It takes a moment, but
Qual que é,
gradually it dawns on you that Kunst
Normal.
und Kultur must mean why they decided to title this one section in Volda is beyond you.
Tomando o banho dela.
As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified
Ele é
only
burro,
as
coitado.
CS.
Não sabe. Ele caga fora, ou às vezes ele caga fora da caixa. E aí. Ou ele caga dentro e quer puxar areia de fora pra jogar dentro da bosta dele. Ele é burrinho, tadinho.
The main feature, though, is
Ele
the
tem boa
Tip Top
intenção, mas ele não
Tourney
sabe.
is an inter-Isolari racing series, mostly known for its high speeds, ludicrous sponsorship deals, and this so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by
Vamos
the
ver o que
subject's
Scondes tem a dizer
evident
sobre
hostility
Tip
to
Top.
you think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problem. Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships, and then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes. So, all of it, basically.
O que é de errado com um bom acidente de automotor? Eles mantêm a coisa interessante. Quem escreveu
Oddly
essas coisas?
enough, this article has two. There's no way those are real names.
Porque eles não são nomes
Have you ever
verdadeiros.
met anyone named Exilus? Come on, they're plainly pseudonyms.
Eles estão ruim
Under
patrocínios.
capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced to an advertising opportunity. Thus, the so-called tourney becomes a competition between and that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, at the end of the day, it's
Fim
the
das contas é
destruction
pela
of these
destruição desses veículos.
750,000 real races
Não tenho
that you're
certeza
really
de que gosto
watching
das
for.
corridas. Estou nisso apenas pela violência. Não tenho certeza de que gosto das corridas.
You see,
Estou nisso pela
one
violência.
cannot avoid the conclusion that Tip Top Tourney is simply the apotheosis of spectacular entertainment under capitalism.
Ah, come on. Can this article read your mind?
Não, acho que
Well,
não.
there you have it. No reason. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take what
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Vejamos o que eles querem dizer com preocupações locais.
Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring you skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Capeside apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Ou diz quando comunistas deveriam ter matado todos os contratos. Não. Cobrar aluguel é muito ultrajante. Não seria melhor para todos se o trabalho e o capital pudessem alcançar o consenso razoável? Eu deveria me importar com isso. Por essa aqui, malditos comunistas deveriam ter matado todos eles quando tiveram a chance. Mentira. Cobrar aluguel ultrajante não seria melhor para todos se o trabalho e o capital pudessem alcançar um consenso razoável.
According to these editorials, there can be no accommodation with the forces of international capital. Judging from the context, it's something very large and fundamental. You should probably know about it already, honestly. You flip back to the front of the magazine.
Tá bom, a gente viu tudo que tinha na revista. Ah, ganhei um óculos. Vou colocar isso aqui, não precisa de instrumento físico. Agora a gente tá mais style, pelo menos. Vamos seguir. Esse bagulho de mapa eu não entendi. Informações do mapa incompleta. Obtenha uma cópia do mapa. Ah, tá, entendi. Para eu formar um mapa eu vou ter que, porra, pegar tudo isso. Merda.
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here. There is a white rectangle clearly visible on its back.
Yes, it was probably you. It does bear the RCM insignia, after all.
Acho que eu deveria
As your fingers touch the
pegá-la.
tarpaulin, it almost
Susto,
feels
caralho.
like the cloaker wants to deliver a message of comfort
Porra, você fez.
through your fingertips.
Você fez alguma escolha aqui, cara, que eu não fui eu que fiz, foi você. Que é isso? Você foi doido? Cara, não tem como jogar com você. Eu peguei a capa, mano. Cadê? Eu peguei a capa. Vou usar minha capa, claro. Meu brother, não dá. O que é isso? Pinheiros brancos impressos na tela da cobertura parecem uma floresta sobre a neve. Parece dinheiro ali daquele lado. What? Eu acho que não tem nenhum acesso por ali, tá ligado? Por enquanto, pelo menos. Vamos, filho, desce. Tô com R$6. Você vê caracteres de tamanho industrial desbotados na plataforma. Calvum significa fiord baleia em Ardan. Entendi nada. O estaleiro à frente está quieto, as grandes máquinas estão adormecidas. Mais dinheiro. Eles estão silenciosos, não há trabalho no pátio. Opa, peraí, eu peguei alguma coisa. Meia luz? O que é isso aqui dá? Eletroquímica. Contato sem filtro. Luva sem dedo marinho manchada de gasolina, poluída de tantos dos machados de cigarro. Sei lá. $10 já de saldo, hein? Ama.
Container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, put the...
The lyrics to this container song are being made up as he goes along. The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi. From the vanishing peninsula of Ubisund.
container, container. Used to be Wild Pines. Container, container. Now belongs to Everard. He looks after everyone. I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
O que se passa entre vocês e os pelegos?
I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat.
Olá, meu chapa. O que você quer aqui de novo? O que você quer? Tá dando cabeçada no microfone? Tem algum problema com o microfone, cara? Tá confortável aí? Você está confortável? Como é que eu jogo com você aí?
Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister.
Você é Ubi, você está fazendo... O que você está fazendo com os containers? Onde estão todos? Ele viu você mexendo em alguma coisa, ele tá indo aí. Ai, ai. Tô procurando pelo líder dos sindicatos.
Oh, you want Mr. Everard then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. Guys like Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school. Mr. Everett is where he always is. In his office, of course.
Você é Ubi,
yes.
né?
Born and raised in Irish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then. Two people say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I come from.
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
Tá fazendo com os
I'm
containers?
just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
The containers in the yard are green in Wild Pine's livery, and the mountains rising behind Leo is all red in Union. It's like some red infection was spreading outwards from the container yard's core.
Yes, they are hiding it from the inside. All the red containers have the Debarders Union.
Isso parece uma operação massiva do sindicato. Alguém já te disse por que você precisa trocar as coberturas?
Oh, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from... We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha! We haven't worked for 2 months now.
Meow. Meow. E gato safado. Gato carente safado. Você voltou? Ah, você voltou. E aí eu não posso... Ah, e eu não posso apertar essa sua cara. E aí eu não posso apertar essa sua cara. Você vem aqui... Nha.
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Everard is in his office, where he are. But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble, and Everard sent them on a nice vacation for a week or so. Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business. Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everett telling them to take some time off.
Mas o que eles realmente fizeram? Sério, eles mataram
No, I
alguém?
don't think they killed anyone. Let's better talk about something else. Titus and his boys do good work. I don't want to get them in trouble over a little...
He probably doesn't know anything anyway. Who in their right mind would tell him?
Yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way. Leonard Bellick. I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town, and Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everett is away. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
A real pretty lady with a skin like those Douai Sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done and me and the missus sit down beside the radio. But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes I am, yes I am.
Deixa eu ver. Vamos continuar, gente. Você passa a ouvir o rádio o tempo todo? Tem muito trabalho por aqui, eu tô sempre ocupado. Quem é essa senhorita Belfort?
Oh, Lizzie, she is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back, she was all fancy and...
He respects that word. That's obvious.
But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood. Knows everybody and gets along with everyone. If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. Dr. Lemaitre said so. And she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years, she...
So Everett trained a lawyer named Miss Buford. Interesting.
Yes, this place really seems to run like clockwork. Keep it up, Leo.
Well, thanks a lot. Coming from you, it means a lot, really.
Você vem me morder, cara? Tô mexendo no teclado. Você tá no lugar errado. Ainda quer me morder?
Sometimes I feel some of the guys don't really get how much I bust my ass for them here. But you guys are alright. Oh, yes, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more.
Estava
I
dizendo
almost
sobre...
forgot about the... Oh, yes. I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since this. It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take...
Power borscht, huh? Never heard of a borscht that turns little guys into dogfighters. Alcohol, however.
Yes, yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags. Oh, the whirling's cook. He makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Manana in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grad.
Não, 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 não. Você vai ser banido do quarto, cara. De novo.
Não.
Você vai ser banido do quarto.
Não. Não.
Gato doido, mano. Ele faz isso, eles estão conversando com o Sr. Madana naquela língua estranha, rindo juntos. Quem é que faz isso no Harlem?
Oh, sure, mister. Sure. You do that. Yes, sir.
Que é naquele container ali.
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up.
Tô procurando pelo líder do sindicato. Tá bom.
Bye bye now.
Item especial no projeto que os grevistas estão comendo. Borscht. Borscht. Parece que é Borscht que fala. Cozinha no Harlem Riggs. Então, isso dá pra gente ver de perto, né? Pelo menos. Olha o gordão aí, ó. Ele deve ser o bambambam da parada.
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his... With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat.
Senhor Dubois? Dubois? Será que esse é o meu nome?
I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me...
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a...
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best.
Esprit de corpus.
Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Legal.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager.
Hey, that's 25 real. That's good money. Think of all the stuff you could.
Pega o cheque comicamente grande, mas não diga nada. E com esse estou bem. Você conhece,
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work.
Vamos conversar primeiro antes de vir pegando dinheiro.
Points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it.
Legal, eu acho que eu não posso aceitar o dinheiro do cara, né? Ia ser um bom dinheiro, mas acho que eu não posso aceitar. Também não resolveria meu problema.
Okay. I respect a man with principles. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure...
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only two words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun. When he said, "Don't worry," he actually meant, be very worried.
Estou preocupado.
Are you all right, Harry? You say you got this, but you seem a little anxious to me. Don't be. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry. because you lost your gun, and those children are gonna shoot themselves.
Mr. Dubois, you don't...
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
Continua escorregando pela cadeira com uma gelatina. Não há Harry, somente um
Mr.
versículo.
Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
Filha da puta, pulou por cima da minha mão. Que isso, gato? Você está metendo louco, você sabe disso, né? Você está metendo louco, cara. Não, não. Pô, caramba. Você é muito chato, cara. Vamos nessa. Talvez você pudesse usar suas mãos de alguma forma de movimento de arremesso. Esse ato do Sr. Dubois de volta para ele.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it...
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder
Eu devia ter sentado
investigation.
nessa porcaria de cadeira. Me disseram que o sindicato está envolvido no comércio de drogas local.
What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any Johnny fat guy.
The reaction appears to be sincere, but it's impossible to tell with this guy, honestly.
You've hurt me, Harry. Me, a friend. But you know what?
And gets over it in 2 seconds. See,
I trust you, like I trust all my friends. And I know you'll never talk to me about this again, because you don't want to wound me. So
he's hiding his real reaction beneath courtesy.
Tá difícil, mano. Realmente tá difícil.
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do what we must.
Eu não, gatinho.
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry.
A pessoa me dá um nome diferente, cara. Isso tá
None taken.
acabando
Did
com a
we
minha
have
cabeça.
anything else to do here, Harry?
Você não vai perguntar como
honestly,
entrei?
I didn't want to bring it up, Harry. I heard you have become Measurehead's race pupil.
Não. Foi uma tática. Nossa senhora, mano. É basicamente assim na minha cabeça o tempo todo.
Of course, Harry. Of course. You're not some kind of a fantastic racist now. And rest assured, no one's gonna know what you did with race there, Harry. Your race bonanza is safe with me. Word of how racy it got will...
You can see the map of Revachol in your head.
Nossa,
Dozens
esse
of
cara
red
tá acabando
arrows
comigo,
are
velho.
pointing out.
Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it.
Vamos continuar.
Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everard, I call you Harry.
Ainda não entendi.
My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you?
I think the odds of that are very low.
It might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see what his game is first.
So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help...
Words flow like a river of honey from... I guess word has already reached him.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first.
Mostre que você está no limite. Faça alguma sondagem antes. Qual o meu nome completo? Sobre alguma coisa sobre a minha família? Leu as passas de embarque antes. Vamos tentar.
As you look at the folder, Everard covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not a real RCM folder. It's just another one of those brown folders you saw in...
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them.
Ué. Ai, vou pagar pra todos. Mandei no lugar errado. Ururu. Seguimos. Isso é do departamento de censo, não da RCM.
He got the name from the Census Bureau. And everything else...
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi from the Census Bureau. Like I said, now I'm actually a very busy man. So is there anything else?
That means he doesn't really. A pity. The mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time being.
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on.
Falar sobre enforcamento. Vamos falar
Yes,
sobre minha arma.
your lost gun. My best men are on it. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of...
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Ele pode manter minha arma como refém? Bizarro.
Who knows? Only one thing is certain. If you work with him, you're going to get it back. And working with him might be the only
A arma
way
pode ter
to do
sido
it.
adquirida na loja de penhora de herói. Seus homens levariam isso em consideração?
Yes, thank you for the hot tip regarding your lost gun, Harry. My men have indeed factored in that you pawned it.
A arma pode ter sido adquirida, tá? Sim, obrigado pela pista quente.
Now please, let the professionals do their job. Kick back, Harry, relax. I have great guys on this. You focus on what's important. Building our relationship for the good of Martinez.
Vamos ver.
Damn it, Harry. That's exactly what it means. I'm only kidding, of course.
Ele só tá
He
brincando,
is
né?
not.
Ele, claro que ele não tá
Of
brincando.
course.
Safado.
I understand. We help you, you help us.
Vamos falar sobre
Oh, of
enforcamento.
course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez.
Meu Deus,
I
gato.
know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to help, like I'm helping you with your lost gun.
Um jogo de tiro, modo campanha pra PS5? Putz, cara, pra PS5 eu não sei, hein? Teria que dar uma olhada. Deixa eu ver. Tem Sniper Elite. Eu acho que é bom. Eu não conheço muito o jogo. Modo campanha. Esse daqui é o Disco Elysium. Arroba, salve Guilherme. Como é que você tá, meu mano?
I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me.
Linchamento está conectado à greve. Tanta coisa para conversar, honestamente, isso está pesando muito sobre mim, eu entendo. Você precisa me interrogar. Eu sinto que tem um
But there's a
porém.
thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors.
Você escutou errado. Nós não somos.
And I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colors, Harry. This really is...
An excellent opportunity presents itself, sire. You could win the trust of the arch-liar, pretend to play into his hand. Then, should you wish, bend his efforts towards your own.
Cara, tá bem difícil esse diálogo aqui. Eu tô com medo porque eu tenho uma vida só, cara. Se eu tomar mais uma vida, tomar mais uma na minha moral, eu acho que eu vou morrer. Esse simplesmente não abre por si mesmo. De quem é essa porta?
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day.
Assim, ó. Disco Elysium. Eu acho que roda em qualquer máquina, mano. Você acha ele na Steam. Ele já tá todo traduzido, tá?
You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you.
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. So what will it be, Harry?
deixa eu ver. De quem é essa
Oh,
porta?
no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about.
Cadê
A
a
loud
ratazana?
blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolish. Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you.
Os que nem sabe nada sobre enforcamento.
Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez. Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done. You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker, too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door.
Estou a investigar seu cupom suspeito.
I don't know what that means, Harry. Shady brew? There are so many moving... You know what? Don't even tell me. Whatever it is, do it. Surprise me.
He sincerely has no idea what you were talking about. And he doesn't care either.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate. Here. You're one of us now. A real red and white Union man.
Tá bom, tá bom. Agora eu sou um homem do sindicato. Consiga a chave da porta da ratazana com manhã. Como é que foi que eu entrei aqui? Foi por aqui? Bom, ainda tem um outro lado pra investigar, né? Amigão. Vamos, cadê? Não aceitei dinheiro do cara.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud.
If you must. But please hurry. We are pretty easy to spot up here.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents. It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man, René, is dressed in a Royal Carabinieri uniform.
Why did you take that picture of René?
Tira, estímulo televisão. Estou fazendo uma coleta de fotos artísticas aqui.
You're really interested in that old soldier. Not sure I understand your fascination, but sure.
Ok. Pegamos um outro item. Dá pra descer aqui? E não, tá fechado essa merda. Acho que não tem passagem pra cá mesmo. É de onde a gente veio, né? Aparentemente sim. Acho que não tem como eu descer por enquanto. Coisas jogadas aqui, mas não tem como acessar. O que é esse brother aqui mesmo?
So, how'd you like our harbor?
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man too, probably.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right, you talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk. A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open? Oh, say no more. I got you. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class
Eu vou te banir, velho. Eu vou te banir. Você vai estar banido, cara. Já, já. Só pode estar testando minha paciência. O que é isso, carência? Por que você não é normal e deita ali com seus irmãos? Seus irmãos. Só porque eles não gostam de você e ficam te batendo? Deixe-me dizer, seria bom você nos ajudar durante a greve.
Polar weasel? Oh, I know what you mean. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whirling in rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized.
Okay, but where did you get the key?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and none of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting.
He means he's not going to tell you cause he doesn't know. But he will shoot his mouth off with you now that you're working for Everard.
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing?
The man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze ruffles his hair.
Por que vocês estão em greve?
We're negotiating our share. Aye. This stuff, they already covered. It's not enough. Not enough to get ahead. More about keeping us in our place. All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board. So that
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page. Communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people or deporting them to a labor camp in southeast Grad. But don't say that out loud if you're a communist.
I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent businessman. He's probably in his container at the harbor. So head right on in there. Sure thing.
This was great. You feel mentally reinvigorated.
Tá bom. Você tem a chave. A porta é atrás da estufa, próxima ao terreno. Uma porta para o porão. Será que é aquela porta dentro da cozinha? Vamos lá, não vou perder tempo não.
Damn, that felt good. Your heart's pounding nicely. You should tell people to fuck off more often.
Not as a general rule, but that one was justified. Better to get the lay of the land before telling people.
That's the spirit.
Esperei saúde,
Never
mano.
forget. The whole world's a wooden house, and you're a god.
Isso aí, pô. Isso aí. Vamos lá. Peguei essa chave, vamos lá. Vamos ver se é aqui. Eu não sei se é aqui ou se é lá do outro lado. Ele ainda tá aí, esse idiota?
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material.
Mais gente aqui agora, hein?
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimpled lock.
Onde é que é a estufa, gente?
Hello again, officer. How are things?
A estufa é isso aqui? Eu nem entrei nesse lugar, né? É uma livraria, na real. Vamos sair mexendo em tudo agora.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also, amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. These three things are very important to the point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have. Various paranatural books still litter the shelf.
Tá. A gente tem o que? Mapa?
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden in. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue. Ozon, Laurentide, Fas Alamer, archipelagos. North disintegrating into map. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou, radiating outwards from you. The suzerain river shore. With a radius of 80 kilometers, still the crown jewel of this is you can, on Caillou, river shore, a single black star on Ozon. 850 million people live on these little dots, an oceanic world of culture and commerce. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Seo is the west azimuth. Isolas, they're called. Connections to other worlds. Words past the insolent. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars. Perhaps they are gods. Gods of distance and the north coast of a verdant island is shattered to the east. Rolling hill Huron It's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Forberg. It's almost as bad, and much. It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is. No, Coal City is worse. A charred limb. Rain falls on its slick black streets. And then there's the burnt-out quarter in the heart of Jamrock. Is it cold in this book? It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture. Still, it's detailed.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. That old thing? It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that from when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago.
The place does not look like a successful tourist trap, does it?
They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame. The
Em vez
project
disso,
never got
roubo.
going. Would be nice if someone
Mano,
fixed
tem umas
Martinez up.
interações muito
All
boas
these
aqui.
ruins are bad for business.
Vou pegar
Always
mapa.
good to be informed of your surroundings.
E agora que eu tenho esse mapa?
The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez, with directions to appropriately your finger moves through the various streets, finally coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing.
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the Map tab.
Okay. Tá, isso aqui fez mais impossível. Fez mais sentido, né? Da onde tá o quê? Isolador de teto, cuno. Joyce, o enforcado. Tá. Não valeu a pena ter gastado dinheiro no mapa. Pelo menos pra
On
saber
the
onde eu tô.
shelf reads biographies of famous people. You see a large variety of.
I would say the greatest innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving
E o
into
que
the
é
depths
um
of a
imaculado?
very influential historical figure. But surely I don't have to. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired. Certainly, it's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside.
Não, valeu. Obrigado. Eu gastei o dinheiro que eu não podia, 90
These
centavos é
shelves
muito.
are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen.
Oh, crime, robberies, murders. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these.
Crime fiction is a disgrace. And as in these books greatly overstate the excitement. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction, just shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart Vespertine detective Dick Mullen.
Peraí. Fica quieto. Seu chatinho, se você subir aqui de novo, eu vou te banir. Ó. Tô pronto pra levantar e te banir. Sobe pra você ver. Você acha que eu estou brincando? Três horas da tarde, vou dar comida pra você, vai. Todo mundo tava com fome. Gatos famintos.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring
Antes de
into this
prosseguirmos,
space.
você parece estar muito bem.
Sir, don't be ridiculous. I certainly will not give you money. I would be. One has to earn one's success, even if one is a police officer.
Certainly there are good things to be said about dependents.
Now, hey there. Sounds like someone isn't taking responsibility for the energy they're fighting enemy. My philosophy is everyone just getting along. I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
Sua filha, aquela parada de fora?
Yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl? Oh, shameful girl. What is she up to this time?
The woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid and tense. Every now and then, she
Cursed? Who said that? Annette? I will have a word with her. This place is not cursed. It has a
What in God's name is she talking about?
Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelves. Why'd you stop? Don't you feel compelled? Go, go. Get back there. The books...
She smiles and nods.
Tá. Vamos dar um adeus por hora.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous and endless variety of source books, law books, and codices. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Catawak. Books in a board game section? Who wants to read books? A towering mountain of colorful board game boxes and Wirral codices.
Tá, coisa de jogos.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly rows and rows of Heimdall men blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Heimdall and the Mammoth Riders. Maybe 100. Man from Heimdall and the Sages at the End of the World. Those snow crabs are worse than they sound. Not even close. Man from Heimdall in Hell. Man from Heimdall and the Forest of Slaves. Man from Heimdall under the lake. Man from Heimdall. Heimdall burning. There's even The Trial of Death, a pastoral combat game book set in the world. A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts twitching. Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular man from Heimdall in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to between the throne and the Heimdall man lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, especially those leering types who seem to wear nothing but an armored bikini. There's also some sort of a snake lizard beast slithering. It's symbolic of vice and sin. The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Heimdall novels.
E vamos sair. Não, tinha um lugar ali dentro pra olhar ainda. Foi mal. O que tem aqui?
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only. Nothing. to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled to look at...
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you, urging you to buy more books.
Acho que ele vai ficar aí, porque tem jogo.
Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become.
Examine a bugiganga esquisita com cara de gaiola.
Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Parapsychologically speaking, we're dumb if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous.
Minha senhora é diferente, eu sou da polícia.
Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. I am sorry. I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't. No, it's just a storeroom for the employees. I told you. Now please step away from the curtains. Thank you. Let's just talk about this first, all right? There's no reason...
Talking is always good. Lies. Rip them open, we say. You see a tattered set of curtains and a polyhedron-shaped cage-like trinket.
Foda-se. Eu vou abrir.
You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway...
I warned you. You're unleashing forces beyond your...
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens. What if you just break it down? Only an echo. No one is there. That's right. Take in your surroundings. You need to have a solid ground and a proper posture if you want to. The room is dimly lit and littered with old barbershop rubbish. It's made of a solid block of wood, but it has stood there for ages. The hinges are old and coated with a carmine layer of rust.
Eu tenho chance de conseguir derrubar, hein? Vamos pra cima. Ah, mano, como é que não deu, cara?
You smash into the wood and see a small crack appear on the door frame. It's going to take one more try to break through to the other side. But you've done it.
Você tá banido, cara. Você tá banido, cara. Aí. Se ficar tirando ele, ele vai ficar subindo aqui. A gente vai ficar nesse looping.
You're not thinking of trying again, are you?
Ih. Eu não tenho muito o que fazer. Vou ter que tentar de novo. Ele não me dá outra opção. Caralho, a gente abriu.
A barbell lies on the floor. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show there are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard.
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then. It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one...
Peguei um item pra vender aqui. Sério que não tem nada?
It's dark. And the flashlight works a lot better if you hold it in your hand. Right. Now let's get to it.
Some areas are inaccessible without your flashlight. After you've acquired it,
Tá, vamos lá. Carai. Mais dinheiro.
Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here. Look, the skis and rotorblades both bear the same slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit, and then pivoted to producing the other. That's a good question.
Mudança estranha de imaginação, mesmo assim falhando, que tristeza.
Reality is ruthless.
Memória de... quê? Caralho! Custa 50 conto o bagulho! Passa pra cá.
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework.
A radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
Você acha que devemos ligar a isso?
We have one of these down at the station, but I never really learned how to use it.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open. It's empty like a beehive without its brood. The filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment.
Inserir no cronograma
Like
de
a smooth
produção.
draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. Oh no. It was already glowing and now it's also making... The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall.
Good evening, Fortress Accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulin. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? The filament you have inserted into the reader. Yes. Is that the production schedule? Good. Please.
Password. Of course it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved.
No.
A hint system is not part of the protocol for repeater stations.
Still no. I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder for stress accident.
I'm afraid we are not doing that, unless we want to wait for a month.
Now, can you please repeat the password? Received. I will register this.
That sounds bad. A login. Don't worry. Passwords have a way.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Você...
Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered. One moment. Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive calling radio.
That's not bad.
Isso não é ruim. Porte Revés produz radiojogos interativos evolucionários. Isso o catálogo diz.
Any other questions? Yes, I am alive. I am...
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian. As for me, well, I am sitting in my...
On an island on the river Esperance, a small woman, all skin and bones, sits in a room filled.
Now, please tell me if there's anything else I can do. Fortress accept. Good. Please repeat. Received.
Don't worry.
Fortress, thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow.
Calma aí. É aquele bagulho lá que custa 50 conto? Ah, por isso que ele é tão caro.
The cube are still small. The filament slides out of its glowing nest.
Por isso que ele é tão caro, pô. É, me ferrei, porque eu não posso usar isso aqui, não.
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker. The mesh spread. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Very pesantic. Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6. Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very. You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled The Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. Looks like a surveillance program. Someone very important, the leader of a massive on-air game, built a conductor for the hundreds of story threads that pass through whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. There's no way a little basement studio working here.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. The schedule. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and these lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of Welkins, translucent Welkins, with organs shining. And you should adopt one of those Welkins as your persona. One of the Welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however. It's Vara Hamira, a high Welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says, the Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled...
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures. Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game. This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real.
Deles é supremacista.
Political commentary. That one has a great beard too.
É mesmo?
Just look at those details.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see, entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, great mammoths, albeit dark and cold. This vision also feels cozy in its own way. Like a pinned postcard reads, the heat death scenario, a desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe. This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid. Minimi stands for a mini-meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the...
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left
Porque não
corner
parece
of
algo
the
muito
chalkboard
importante para
says,
minha investigação,
see the crop
para ser
schedule
sincero.
filament for the handwriting is only partly legible, but You can still make out 3 slogans. Call in, tune out. Outside, a cold wind wraps the building in its bosom. Snowflakes in the wind. An old...
Tá. E aí que foi? Tem mais um lugar que eu não olhei, esse aqui, ó. Falar com ele.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
Parece um programa de contra-inteligência disfarçado.
No, that's not it. I think it looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it. Make it not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Grad, Messina.
Not in Revachol West.
But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an inter-isolary game before. We just don't have the technology.
Como é que eles estavam planejando fazer isso?
Through call-in stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game. As long as then there's the game master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that...
His fascination has swept aside other concerns for the moment. He's a little hooked.
Esse era um jogo de RPG?
Those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version.
Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good.
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard. Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but...
Eles eram loucos se pensaram que podiam fazer isso.
It's too late for that, I'm afraid. Okay, let's keep moving.
Ok, deixa eu entrar aqui de novo. Pra ter certeza que não tem mais nada aqui dentro. Não. Tá. Vamos pra lá então. Opa, tem uma porta aqui, hein?
An iron safety curtain curves before your eyes, folded like a bellows. What an odd thing to do. Still nothing. Those curtains prove to be surprisingly sturdy.
Can you please try to refrain from attacking random things? Thanks. In any case, there's no way we can get in right now.
Caramba, velho, me ferrei. Todinho.
Bent metal, broken glass. You are the destroyer, the bane of inanimate matter. Kudos.
Vamos tirar isso aqui, mano. Treinador, instrumento físico. Isso aqui, cara. Tava precisando fazer. Puta, eu tô todo fudido de vida, hein? Ainda tô gastando vida, eu tô... Não, era aqui que eu precisava vir. Obrigado, Deus.
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment. This ice bear is the bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy? The lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes are glued to the animal. The lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes are glued. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found. The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name. You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
Analise uma das embalagens de sorvete que está lá.
A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper.
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge.
Então eles tentaram vender sorvetes.
What an unfortunate marketing. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this thing. A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black.
Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire. Only that.
It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above.
What are you doing?
Tô alucinando. Ouço o assassino do homem enforcado falando.
Wait, really? Maybe it's coming from behind the safety. We should ask the lady in the bookstore what's going on with these curtains.
A lush layer of coal now covers your skin. Still, it's good to have this dirt on you. Real men wear coal for makeup.
Eu tinha com o pé. Não, porra. Para de querer quebrar as coisas, cara.
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of line.
Does it say anything interesting?
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct. Someone has scribbled. S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Suliswaf.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here.
The lieutenant nods.
It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. You listen to disco tapes, right? It's like one of your disco tapes, only for a computer. Really? You don't have a single guess? Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter. I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the Ice Bear fridge.
E a gente viu tudo que dava pra ver desse... Não, tem coisa pra cá. Calma aí. Vem aqui pra cima. Não tem mais nada.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. Turning the crank feels you slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold. If you want to try again, then you need to have...
Equip the prime.
Equipar o rolê.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand crank. The ice squeaks beneath the pry bar. You think you've got the bar jammed in there pretty well, but the lid simply... You see the pry bar's metal handle...
Yeah, well, that's a good pry bar. I'm not criticizing it, but this ice cream maker is frozen shut. It takes an... I have no idea, officer. This ice cream maker isn't important enough to...
Sooner or later, you will stumble upon a tool mighty enough. Then we will know what's in this mysterious...
Ok. Ah, graças a Deus.
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the Ice Bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. An electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now. Something close to you dies with a soft...
Why did you do that?
Não sei o que...
The lieutenant raises his brows, but...
Gata de malha insana. Pera aí, agora que eu desliguei esse rolê, ele tá... dá pra abrir?
The bear's eyes are dead and empty. Ice inside the fridge, slowly melting. The power has been cut off. A friendly cartoon bear.
Good question. It looks like an... I know. At least it's not...
The fridge sits empty.
Não sei dizer se isso aqui fez algum sentido. Tenta abrir de novo.
This orange machine is dead still. It has the ice squeaks beneath the... You see...
Yeah, well, that's... I have no...
Sooner or later, you turning the crank feels oddly satisfying. Like stirring...
Vamos usar minha roupa normal, né? Eu plugar as coisas de volta.
Somewhere, a machine hums along with the current.
Pegar as coisas de volta que eu não é meu, porra. Não mexo no que não é meu, né? Quer dizer, mexo. Mas nesse caso não precisa. Ah. Puro ainda tá aí? Esse é o merdinha.
Fuck does Kuno care? Pig, do you have any idea how Kuno's cruising his bitch on the town and the bitch comes back grief?
Get the fuck out of here, fat ass! Those pants are too small for you.
Kuno sempre me destrói, velho.
What's going on? Is an ungovernable youth on your crime scene, throwing around incendiary language, trying to push your
Get your snout out of Kuno's ass. Kuno knows how hard you should give up, Pope.
Are you okay, Kuno?
That went wrong. He took it as a compliment. Then he had a minor seizure.
Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? The fuck do you want with it? Yeah, Kuno doesn't know shit about that. That shit is beneath Kuno. Listen. Kuno doesn't care about this small-time shit. Just listen. Kuno could hook you up with some sweet rags. Shit like Kuno's wearing. Your size, good price. 500 real. Look, Kuno ain't seen shit lying around, except for that up there.
The lieutenant remains silent, but his expression couldn't.
Whatever. Kuno was trying to help you, but you're too fat for fouling anyway, pig. The fuck? A mug in the trash? Is this about the fucking clothes again? Yeah, Kuno sees where this is going. Kuno's got that fast brain. You saying you pigs are...
I can't hear you, Kuno! Speak louder, Kuno!
Shit, that's tense. Someone's going to the beat-down basement, huh? Mug guy gonna get tied to the radiator.
The kid may have something there. He's already come up with an
Kuno doesn't know who put that shit in there. And if he did, he wouldn't squeal.
Tell the Kuno who it was. He's curious. He likes putting two and two together.
Stop turning into a pig, Kuno! They're trying to get you hooked on the snitching! Get away from my Kuno.
Yeah? Get your bacon shit away! Kuno doesn't like to be seen with the popo. Get your... That's just some shit Rufengimps left behind.
He's hiding something.
If Kuno was hiding something, it would be hidden.
But it is not hidden, is it, sire? You picked up on it. You should examine the pile of roofing material again.
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Kuno doesn't...
Merda de maluco, mano.
Volumetric shit compressor. Bizarre scientific news from Revachol West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit togetherness.
Tá. Talvez leve algum tempo.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite.
Ajuda!
Because it's nice and orderly. Well-laid pallets. Easy rhythmic pattern calms your mind. Mammals like this stuff.
Droga, cara. Vamos tentar mexer com o corpo de novo.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes.
Agora
As you
ele
breathe
está
in,
alto.
the odor comes over you. It's a spell of the mind telling you to run. And it's a puzzle. What's hanging in front of you is a puzzle of decaying flesh, tattoos, and tendon.
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep in decomposition.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders.
Inspecionar coisa por coisa agora.
The
Bota.
material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above them. Delicate and fragile. They feel alien to the world around you. These are clearly not boots.
Essas
They're
não são
armor,
apenas botas, são
possibly part
armaduras.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots.
Que tipo de armadura é essa?
Zirconium dioxide, most likely. Under the heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff. The locals probably scavenged it. It would be odd if he had more. We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know.
If you wear those pieces, it will help me protect your mortal coil.
Talvez ele estivesse vestindo apenas as botas.
Yes, bullets will fly. They always do. And the coil is fleshy and mush and permeable.
No, I think he had something precious underneath the clothes. They had to remove the jeans and shirt we found to get to it. And
nice. That makes sense.
E se eles o fizeram se despir antes de enforcá-lo para ridicularizá-lo?
They usually hang them completely naked for that. La puta madre, the Mazda, the Besmerties and the like. This one still has his underpants.
Fucking talking about underpants.
Clearly, Kuno would like to interject something here, but there's not enough for him to hold on to.
Material e parece até
It is. It's expensive. We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too. For a full set, about 4 years of wage.
For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500 real.
Not too much, yes. It's a sorry situation, I agree.
Como esse homem poderia dispor de um equipamento tão caro?
That's for us to find out. Mr. Gart implied he was security personnel for the harbor company. This confirms my own assessment. Just something I scraped together from my station. An area report on Martinez. I'm sure you did this.
Elas parecem muito avançadas para mero segurança.
I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
Bater
A
na
small
bota.
bell-like sound fills the air. Like the pry bar in your hand is itching for some action.
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally.
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide like whirls of floorboards. The design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials, like lignum vitae and ebony perhaps.
O que te faz lembrar? Não me interessa.
If trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would look like. The smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever more intricate. The whirls are in the shape of a letter and number combination. E50, 100, 1000.
Good. Can you read it to me? We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done. Either station can chase it for us.
The stench fills your nostrils. As
Stop! Pig's gonna pull it.
Brutal! What's
Shut up.
wrong with you, asshole?
I don't know, baby. I don't know why he's such a...
Officer, if I may ask, what were you trying to achieve by putting on the deceased foot?
the cadaver slowly twists, the hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt, big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under six-rotor air. Oh my, there's something on the belt. A familiar word that speaks to the thirst. Vermilion, in yellow letters, along the length of the twisting cargo belt. Only a deep longing for vermilion golden spirits lets you decipher the fading logo of the
Extremely. Airlifting. I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them.
Aparentemente esse é o tipo reforçado para transporte suspenso.
The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand, without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves. A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around.
Eles escalaram usando uma escada das crianças.
That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the bucket.
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory.
The brief suggested as much, politically motivated by the ongoing strike. Did you not get a briefing?